What I'm about to say might make you hate me, but I need you to understand that this just might save your relationships. People pleasing is manipulating everyone around you. I know this is so hard to hear. I hated hearing this. But when I finally understood what this meant, it was the truth that set me free, and I was no longer willing to be a doormat to everyone. I'm Kim Gross, and for the last 40 years, I have worn so many masks that I didn't even know who I was underneath. I had lost touch with my true self. I was people pleasing, saying yes to everything and everyone with this huge smile on my face. All the while I was dying inside, and saying yes to everyone literally made me sick, as I was later diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. I once heard it said that manipulation is dressed up as kindness. And when I fully understood what that meant, it was a game changer for my whole entire life. I want to share with you today how I created my 5-step power pathway that has helped to set me free, and how manipulation and people pleasing go hand in hand. So first, we have to understand that the reason that we manipulate. So here is the truth behind manipulation. People pleasing equals controlling other people's emotions. Why are we trying to control other people's emotions? Because we are trying to avoid the discomfort of our own feelings. As long as we're people pleasing, we believe that we are safe. Let me give you an example. Years ago, when my kids were little, whenever we were on family vacations, I would spend from early morning until late at night making sure that I was meeting the needs, the wants, and the desires of my kids and my husband. Whenever my daughter would say, Mommy, please, let's go swimming in the pool, I would say yes when I really didn't want to. Now, on some level, maybe this is what a mom will do, but this was a pattern for me, a habitual pattern. And the reason that I went to this place of saying yes when I wanted to say no, or putting the needs of others ahead of my own, is because I was trying to keep myself safe. It was much scarier if I had to say no to someone and set a boundary and risk the potential of that person being upset with me, being angry with me, rejecting me, or abandoning me. So the way our survival brains are designed is that we are hardwired to move away from pain and toward pleasure. Our brains are designed to keep us safe, so that if a big black bear is coming around the corner, we know how to be safe. In modern time, anytime that we say no to another person or we fear rejection, that's the same as death. We equate it with death. So our survival system, our nervous system, is so conditioned to believe and feel that if we say no to someone, we may not survive. So it keeps us safe. These are all protective strategies that we created at a much earlier age in attempts to keep us safe. The problem is, as adults, these strategies no longer work. Let me give you another example of when I hit my rock bottom. So again, when my kids were little, many years before I started to do my own healing work, every holiday season, I would buy gifts for 27 people. I would wrap over 100 gifts, decorate 3 trees, bake cookies, stand in long lines to get the gifts that the kids wanted from Santa, and then wrap late at night so that no one would see the gifts. As someone who was managing a chronic illness, this was exhausting. It was overwhelming. At the end of the day, the reason that I did all of these things was to gain the approval or affection of others, and because I was afraid of being rejected or being abandoned, didn't want to say no, didn't want to be disliked, I went to these lengths to try to please other people. Again, it was a protective way to keep myself safe. And also, our brains are wired for belonging. We are hardwired to belong and to connect. So because I didn't know how to meet that need in a healthy way, I developed this strategy as a young child that if I pleased others, then somehow I would feel connected or feel like I belonged or I fit in. However, as I said, that does not serve us as adults. So along with that, the masks that we wear, there's so many different masks that we can wear. There's the perfect daughter mask. There's the I'll do everything at work type of mask. There's the one who has all the parties and is doing all the bringing snacks and things to school. All of these are attempts to fit in and belong and to have other people give us that validation. And here's the thing, in the end, again, they do not work. So I created my 5-step power pathway as a framework to do the healing work and have more freedom. And essentially my 5-step power pathway is, step 1 is being able to be aware of your patterns. Here's the thing, if you don't recognize your patterns, if you aren't aware of them, you're not going to be able to change anything. So as I shared early on, when I was pleasing my kids and my husband on vacations, or all the things that I did at the holidays, if I wasn't aware that that was a people-pleasing pattern, or it was a strategy to help me feel that I was safe, I wouldn't be able to change anything. It would never change, and I would continue to do the same old over and over and over again, getting caught on that proverbial hamster wheel. First step then is awareness of patterns. Step 2 is ownership. If we don't own or take responsibility for making the changes in our life, nothing will change. I can promise you there is no one out there on the outside that's going to come along and rescue you or save you and fix your life and make everything hunky-dory for you. It's not going to happen. The only person who can make any changes is you. So that's why ownership and taking responsibility for creating the life that you desire is on you. Third step is the willingness to feel in order to heal. If we are unwilling to feel our feelings, if we're unwilling to heal the pain from childhood that has caused us to have these patterns in the first place, if we're unwilling to go there, nothing will change. We will continue to push down and suppress our emotions, our feelings, and our pain. The only way is to go through the pain. Can't go over, can't go under, and you can't go around. Fourth step is embracing. Embracing means being able to integrate or accept all the parts of yourself, the parts that you dislike, the parts that you cut off from. It's like accepting and integrating the warts and all, our imperfections. And finally, R is radical responsibility, which is being willing to make the changes in your life. That can be setting boundaries, communicating more effectively, and ultimately it's about being able to change or unhook from these patterns that have kept you stuck for so long. So that is my 5-step power pathway. So here's the uncomfortable truth, is that there will be people that may leave you. This is a warning that the freedom that you can gain from going through the 5-step power pathway and doing the healing work is that you are able to take off your masks and be your true self. You will ultimately have more peace in your life. You'll have more joy and more abundance. And more importantly, people will begin to love you for you and for who you are, not because of what you do for them. If you're sitting here and you're thinking, oh my God, this is me. First of all, just breathe. It's okay. It's not your fault. You're not broken and you're not bad. You are just surviving. In my book, Free to Be, A Pathway to Inner Liberation, I outline my 5-step power pathway, and in addition, I give you all the tools that I have used to remove my masks that have helped to set me free and can do the same for you. So I invite you to grab your copy of Free to Be. The link is below. And here's the thing that I know. If you are ready to stop manipulating and stop pleasing and you're ready for freedom, here's what I do know is that when you're trying to manage everybody's emotions, it's absolutely exhausting. So it's time to take off the masks. It's time to unhook from the people-pleasing pattern, and it's time to start being free. So stay tuned for the next video where I share with you on how to say no. So I'll see you in the next video where I share a script with you on how to say no without apologizing. It is going to change your life.